During the Victorian era and into the early 20th century, it was marketed as a scientific, modern, and even fashionable way to lose weight. People could buy this supposed weight loss aid in pill form. It was advertised in newspapers and recommended by so-called medical experts. And sometimes it did work to help people lose weight, but with potentially dangerous consequences. I'm talking about the disgusting tapeworm diet that started in the Victorian era and continued into the early and mid-20th century. It is still around in some places today. Before I go any farther, I want to say the tapeworm diet is a highly dangerous weight loss method involving the intentional ingestion of tapeworm eggs in the hope that the growing parasite inside a person's body will consume food within the intestines, leading to weight loss. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has banned the importation of tapeworm-derived products for weight loss due to the severe health risks. So, using the tapeworm diet to lose weight is illegal. Hi, I'm Tamworth Grice. Welcome to my channel, the Tamworth Grice Files. Here you will hear about cases that are spooky, macabre, fascinating, supernatural, and just plain weird. And in each instance, I have a personal connection to the story. So be sure to stick around to the end to hear about that. Victorian beauty standards in the mid to late 1800s, especially among middle class, upper middle class, and upper class women, associated thinness with self-control, oral purity, and social refinement. A thin waist was the ultimate sign of beauty. Corsets of various types were used, reducing waists to as small as under 18 inches for a fully grown adult woman. Victorian society was also fascinated with science and medicine, and the public believed modern medicine could solve almost any problem. So what exactly is a tapeworm? A tapeworm is a parasitic flatworm that can live and flourish in the intestines of almost any mammal, including a human. Once inside the body, a tapeworm egg hatches. The resulting parasitic worm attaches itself to the intestinal wall and absorbs nutrients, theoretically allowing the host or person who swallowed the tapeworm egg to eat without gaining weight. It can grow to several feet long, even as much as 20 or 30 feet long. In reality, however, tapeworms often do not absorb enough calories to cause significant weight loss, and any minor weight change may be accompanied by malnutrition. By the late Victorian era, the tapeworm diet was openly being marketed via advertisements that appeared in newspapers, women's magazines, and even medical catalogs designed for doctors. For example, some ads promised such things as, quote, effortless slimming, unquote, and, quote, scientifically proven weight loss, unquote, and, quote, no exercise required, unquote. Tapeworm eggs were sold in pill or capsule form. The user swallowed the pill, waited for the parasite to mature, and supposedly watched the fat melt away. After the desired amount of weight was lost, the dieter might use dangerous folk cures or special devices to try and lure the worm out, such as a cylinder with food inserted into the digestive tract. These methods were ineffective and extremely risky, with reports of patients experiencing serious complications such as choking to death. Unfortunately, this diet continued into the 20th century. In the early 1900s, especially during the 1910s and 1920s, slim, boyish figures became fashionable, and tapeworm egg capsules were still being sold in the U.S. and Europe. Some movie stars of the silent film era were rumored to have used tapeworms to maintain their figures. However, as medical knowledge improved, the darker reality became impossible to ignore. Of course, although tapeworms might provide some weight loss, they were terribly unsafe. Many users experienced severe abdominal pain, chronic diarrhea or constipation, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, anemia, neurological symptoms, cysts in the eyes, cysts in the muscles, cysts in the brain, seizures, blindness, and even death. And some people didn't even lose weight at all, but actually gained weight due to increased hunger. By the 1930s and 1940s, as medical consensus firmly labeled the practice as dangerous pseudoscience, governments around the world began cracking down on tapeworm diet products, and medical consensus firmly labeled the practice as dangerous. Today, the sale and importation of tapeworms and tapeworm egg pills for weight loss is illegal in the United States. The ban is enforced by the Food and Drug Administration, which prohibited these products because they pose significant health risks. Yet the tapeworm diet still exists today. For example, some report that web pages suggest that treatment with a tapeworm pill might be available in Mexico, though through illicit or unregulated channels. There have been reports of individuals in places like Hong Kong and parts of China resorting to ingesting tapeworm or roundworm eggs as extreme measures for weight loss. And in the U.S., Canada, the UK, and elsewhere, the tapeworm diet continues, with the primary method for obtaining tapeworm products being via unregulated channels on the internet and or the black market. Now here's my rather embarrassing personal connection to the story. I never did a tapeworm diet, but in college I tried something that can also be harmful. I had just begun going out with a new boyfriend named Grayson. Grayson was a bodybuilder, and that made me want to have the best body possible as fast as possible. A friend suggested using laxatives for weight loss, so I bought some laxatives and took one. I still remember that day when Grayson was at my place, and the sudden urge overcame me. I barely made it to the bathroom in time, and the result was explosive. Worse, it smelled up the whole bathroom and even seeped out into the adjoining room. I was never so embarrassed in my life. Fortunately, Grayson pretended not to notice, although I'm sure he did. Of course, I threw away the pack of laxatives and never took another. And please note, I do not recommend using laxatives for weight loss. Misusing laxatives, especially chronically, can lead to numerous health complications, including dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, digestive system drainage, chronic constipation, organ damage, malnutrition, and, in my case, explosive diarrhea. Just don't. So, what's the most bizarre diet you've ever heard of? Have you ever tried a fad diet? Which one? Has any risky fad diet ever seemed tempting to you in spite of dangers? Which one? Have you ever suffered negative consequences as a result of a fad diet? Which diet, and what were the consequences? Please leave your answer in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you found this story compelling, please subscribe because I really do need subscribers. I hope you'll return to view the next video in the Tamworth Grice Files. This is Tamworth Grice signing off. Until next time, stay wonderful, stay weird, and as always, Have beautiful dreams.